Hello everyone and welcome to our latest video on our BN channel. Welcome everyone to the Super Vans challenge made by our dearest friend Mr. Crispy Shaman himself. So the rules are absolutely simple, so let's enjoy this video and let's watch the rules. So the rules are very simple. What you need to do is, of course, you need to design a van that will be used of course for normal deliveries, but in a crazy fast way, unlike the regular slow vans or the regular normal vans that the kind of delivery companies use, of course, by following these rules. So the first rule, as always, is of course the production year, which is of course 2020 in this challenge. No more, no less. And of course, next we have the body type. Well, my friend, you need to use any modern cargo van. It's required for this challenge. Next, of course, you have the quality sliders. The quality sliders are allowed. You can go plus and you can go minus. But of course, the Techpool is not allowed. It needs to be on the default 0. Don't increase it and don't decrease it. Leave it at 0, please. Next, of course, you have the panels and the chassis. You can use absolutely any panels material and any chassis material that you want. Next, of course, you have the engine placement. You can use absolutely any engine placement you want. Bear in mind that it's a van and you still need to put things in the back, so anything besides front engine is basically a risk, but the choice is yours and the design is your option and your choice, my friend. Next, of course, you have the suspension. You can use absolutely any suspension for the front axle, but the rear axle needs to be only solid. Solid axle is of course required for the rear ones because it's a delivery van, and delivery vans need to take heavy loads, and the best option here is of course the solid because it's the most realistic option. So only go solid for the rear axle. You can go coil or leaf springs, it's your choice, but it needs to be solid in the back. Right, moving on with the engine. You can use absolutely any engine type you want. Go crazy with your creation. Anything surprise me. Now, then of course you have the fuel system, or the, as they call, the intake. You can use any intake option you want. Everything is allowed. Standard, performance, race, everything is allowed. Next, of course, you have the required fuel. You can use only premium 98 unleaded fuel only. Then, of course, you have the exhaust headers. Because since we already allowed race parts, that means the exhaust headers you can use any option. Then, of course, you have the exhaust system itself. You need to use catalytic converters, and at least one muffler is required because this thing needs to be driven on the street, and this thing needs to pass emissions test, so you need to have at least a cat and one muffler at least. Next, of course, you have the drivetrain. You can use absolutely any drivetrain you want. That goes of course with the differential and the gearbox. You can go any option you want. Next, of course, you have the tires. You can use only any street tire you want. Race tires are not allowed because it's still a street vehicle, so you need to use only street tires. Then of course you have the brakes. Again, you can use any brake option you want, but make sure your brakes are good in BeamNG and they won't overheat and fade in BeamNG. Any vehicle that will have bad brakes, it will get disqualified immediately. Next, of course, you have the aerodynamics. You can use absolutely any aerodynamical option you want. Again, any vehicle, any engine that will overheat, the whole thing will get disqualified, unfortunately. Then of course you have the interior. You can use absolutely any interior option you want with at least 2 seats minimum, because the delivery vans, they still use 2 seats. A seat for the driver and perhaps for someone else. So all of them basically they have 2 seats. That means it needs to have at least 2 seats. Then of course you have the entertainment system. You need to use only Satnav because a delivery van needs to have a satellite navigation system to make the delivery, so you need to use any Satnav option you want. Only Satnav. Next, of course, you have the safety. If the safety, of course, is required, you need to have some safety options, seat belts and airbags and all of that, but it's your choice, anything you want. Then of course you have the suspension setup. You can use any suspension setup you want. It's your choice, but your delivery van needs to have a minimum 1,200 kilograms of cargo load because it's still a van. You still need to make deliveries, and you still need to put heavy things in the back. Make sure this thing can take at least 1,200 kilograms of cargo load. Anything below that, it will get disqualified. Then of course you have fuel economy because we are not building a drag racing van which you need to refuel it every 10 miles. That means of course you need to have at least minimum 10 mpg, which is like double digits basically. So your vehicle needs to have at least 10 mpg. And then of course you have the approximate cost. Well, since this is a one-time only, one project only, like a tuned van basically, a single one, not a mass-produced one. That means the approximate cost is at like the maximum allowed is $60,000. $60,000. This is the approximate cost. Then of course is the final bit, the looks. Well, it's a delivery van. Make sure your vehicle looks like a real delivery van with of course company logos, interior, and of course some storage area with actually some actual boxes in the back. Don't give me an empty van in the back. Just make sure that this thing has some sort of interior, dashboard, steering wheel, seats, pedals, and of course some cargo area in the back with some boxes basically, or whatever you want to deliver in the back, with of course the company logo on the outside. And that's pretty much it. It's very easy. I think the rules are absolutely forgiving, but of course don't be fooled by the rules because making a delivery van is not easy as it sounds, believe me. And this is where the challenge will be. The rules are easy and forgiving, but this is where you will shine. It's a challenge, so make sure your vehicle is absolutely crazy when it comes to drivability, fast, and of course stops well, goes well, grips, not doesn't spin out and crash, doesn't understeer. Make sure you tune your vehicle as best as possible. And that's pretty much it, my friends. And well, the deadline of this challenge will be today is the Friday, the 2nd of August. So you have 7 days from now to create and submit your vehicle. That means, of course, you have up until next Friday, which will be the 9th of August. Make sure to create and submit your car on my Discord channel, the link in the description below. Go there and submit your .car file when you finish creating this thing for a chance to win this amazing custom made racing van, as you can see, delivery van that was made by me and Mr. Crispy Shaman himself. We made this thing together. It's an absolute beauty, a true fast, grippy, super amazing van. So if you win this challenge, of course you will get this car to enjoy it in your BeamNG.drive. So that's pretty much it, my friends. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really cannot wait to see what you'll be creating. And I'll see you guys in a week. Of course, during this week I'll be creating Twitch broadcasts and perhaps some other videos on YouTube to enjoy. So big thanks for everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, get subscribed, and I'll see you guys very soon. And remember, as always, if you have a crazy idea for an upcoming challenge that you want to create yourself with your own rules, of course you can subscribe to my Patreon page, and by doing that you'll be allowed to of course create your own challenge. Or of course when I'm broadcasting on Twitch, you can drop 1,000 bits, and by doing that you'll be able to create your own challenge with your own rules. That's pretty much it, my friends. And again, if you like my work and if you want to download all my BeamNG cars from the past, everything that I made, like replicas and crazy things, and if you want to support my work, also the link in the description below for my Patreon page. You will find absolutely everything there. So thank you so much everyone for watching, and goodbye for now, my friends.